Chris Buescher is a NASCAR Cup Monster Energy Cup Series driver. He drives for JTG Doherty Racing, and he was at Kansas Speedway helping to promote the big race at Kansas Under the Lights on May the 11th. And he was out there helping to paint the track, paint the walls. There was a stripe down on the inside of the track he was helping to paint. I didn't think there was much that was even more difficult than drive a race car, but the painter scooter that he was on today, you can't make a mistake when you're out there painting. So here's a conversation that I had with Chris after he took his turn trying to paint the line down on the racetrack.
No, your mistake's pretty permanent. You get that line out of whack. So I don't know about harder, but it's a different challenge, that's for sure. I was definitely death gripping a little bit, and I'm nervous. It's a neat machine. I think I got my lines pretty straight, so I was told that we will not be the next ones on track. They actually have some different events, so hopefully it's straight enough for them to be able to get done what they need to get done. I think they got the driving experience out here, so hopefully the students don't feel like I did too poor of a job. Got some of the wall painted, covered up a couple people's love for each other, some rougher sayings about some 18 car that I don't know much about, some of a 12 car, and then a lot of good stuff about other cars that we just couldn't have. So it's all white now.
Got a lot of laps around Kansas Speedway. We're 5 or 6 weeks out from the big weekend coming up on May 11th. Former Xfinity Series champion, and you raced here in the ARCA Series too, so you've had a lot of experience here.
Yeah, I do have a lot of laps here. This was our finale for the ARCA Series back in 2012 when we won that championship. Xfinity, we've run well here. We've led a lot of laps and really been in contention here through a lot of races. Some of my better Cup finishes have come here. I wish I could tell you what it is about the place and try and figure it out for others, but it's just a fun track for me. A lot of grip here, but the asphalt is aging. It's starting to wear out a little bit. You have different lines you can move around. It just creates a good race. It's always fun coming out to Kansas. Enjoy the area. There's so much to do around here. Always nice to be out and not be in the middle of nowhere. It gives everybody, including ourselves and fans, different things to do, different things to eat during a race weekend.
Based on what you've seen of the various rules packages of the mile-and-a-half track so far, what kind of race can fans expect?
I would say we are looking at Texas really hard as something that is probably comparable to what Kansas would be expected. I think you're going to have a lot of drafting here, a lot more than in the past. Probably a lot more than most of the racetracks this season. Maybe a little bit like Vegas. Vegas started moving around a little bit with that package. So there's between those two tracks, we're trying to find a balance of what we expect. It's just hard. You don't really know until you're here, and you have to build that race car so far in advance. You're building the speed into it, or you're building the downforce into it, or if you're building a trimmed out speedway style car, that's built way ahead of time, and you can't change everything once you're here. So we take notes. We apply everything that we know to apply from going through the previous races, and we'll come here as prepared as we know how.
And it's a race under the lights. You'll have another race at Richmond, I think, under the lights, but this first mile and a half under the lights this year. How different will that be?
It'll still be, I would imagine, decently cool out at this time of year. I love racing under the lights. Just it's cool. Not from a temperature standpoint. It's just neat to see everybody come out. It's enjoyable for fans. You're not sitting there baking in the sun. It's cool to see the paint schemes. They always reflect a little cooler at night. So it's I love night racing. I wish we did a lot more of it. I don't know who to talk to about that, but it is something that it's always been enjoyable to run any night race anywhere, and glad we get one here at Kansas.
Qualifying. There's still some issues with qualifying. What is the answer?
What issues? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, people want to get out of people's way so they can get out to qualify.
Yeah, yeah, chaos. Been a lot of chaos this season. So, we'll. Texas was, I guess, the first little new edit on the package, and it worked out. I would say a little bit better for us than it has in the past, with the middle not getting jammed up and getting clogged, and it wasn't 100% for sure, but keep working on it. I think the problem comes down to, it's our job as a driver to get the best qualifying position possible, and it matters so much for pit stall selection, for track position, and the first car is going to be the slowest. Well, it's not our job to go out there and be that first car to pull everybody out and sacrifice our run and our team's run for the other drivers that are trying to get good laps. So I mean, we're selfish in a way, but at the same time we're expected to get the result. So it's just it's a product of this package. Somebody's got to go first, and everybody's job is to not go first, basically, is what it comes down to. So that it's made it very difficult, and I know NASCAR wants us to go out, to force us out there and just make it happen, and that sounds great, but nobody wants to be the person to do it and end up on the shortest end of that stick. So it's a tough deal. It's with this drafting, I don't think it was really considered until we got into the season. I don't think anyone knew what to expect, and so it's kind of hit us late in the going, and we're having to react a little late to it as we go as well.
20th place finish at Texas, JTG Doherty Racing. How would you assess your season so far?
We should be a top 15 every week is our goal. Texas, we should have been right at 15th, and of course, as soon as we pitted and didn't have a chance to cycle out, caution came out, and just a bad luck deal. So we should have been better there. The West Coast swing, we were, I think, 16th twice and maybe 18th, 17th, somewhere there. So, I mean, we're really close to our goal. We're not quite there, but we're knocking on that door. So that's really good for us. I mean, it's a much better start than what we had last season. We've made some progress. We've worked really hard. Everybody at the shop has, and we have a better game plan with this package than we've had in the past. So I think we're close to where we expect it to be. So if we can get just that one or two more spots every week consistently, then we'll change our expectations, and we'll see if we can't go for top 10s.
When we talked to you last fall, they just swapped crew chiefs on you. You got Trent Owens back with you now. You and him seem to be a pretty good fit.
Yeah, we work really well together, so it's been good. Working with him again and trying to get some momentum rolling as well. And I think he comes from a background that he's done probably most of the different job descriptions through a race shop. He's driven, so he has that background that he knows what talking about, trying to figure out how to balance something out, and he's just a really sharp guy. So I think that's something that is he's helped me a lot through the last couple of years, having somebody just to be able to have personalities mesh really well. We're both pretty quiet. Neither of us is having those blow up moments that don't seem to personal opinion, but I just don't see the productivity in having those big moments. My experience is most people don't like to be thrown under the bus and yelled at and bashed. It doesn't seem to produce results as well. So I think both of us have a calmer attitude of do your job and let's go have some fun together and do the best we know how to do and work to be the best. And that works. It works great. So it's been nice having him back. It's off to a good start this season. We're looking for just a little bit of extra.
Finally, the high banks of Bristol this weekend. How do you see this weekend?
I love it. It's my favorite racetrack. So always excited to go back to Bristol. It's been a place where we can run very well, which is always exciting. It's really it's a good chance for us to get a win. We can get to the top 5 there, and we can run there. So if we can pull one of those off and stamp your place in the playoffs, that'd be a big moment. So always excited to go back there. Buescher's Baked Beans, it's a home track for them in Tennessee. They have a huge showing, sponsor some of the race weekend as well and the racetrack. We got our copper paint scheme back with them, so excited to have our first Buescher's paint scheme of the year in front of their home crowd. So my favorite racetrack, everything comes together in a good way there. So we're ready to hit that one and have a good time.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.